step on the scene. I'm with my team. I'm looking clean.
Who will rise up the leaderboard?
Just another example as to why she is our reigning champ.
For the second time in league history, we're going to a golden set.
So I'm coming for the top spot, running on the shot clock. Please stay in your lane. Crowd jumping like it's hopscotch, even though the shot size ice all in my veins. Cause every moment counts, every moment counts, every moment counts.
A serve!
I said every moment counts, every moment counts, every moment counts.
Defense, defense, and more defense.
Holly McCage is a blocking machine.
It's her world, you're just living in it.
Captain Edmond closes the door.
Dug again by Hens, who's under it. Yes, please.
Say it loud, cause every moment really counts. Every moment counts, every moment counts, every moment counts.
With authority, Linehan unloads.
Count it for Morgan Hens.
Leah Edmond explodes on the kill.
She's putting on an absolute show.
It doesn't get any better than this.
Athletes Unlimited Volleyball on ESPN, presented by the Air National Guard, starts now. For one last night, 28 matches are in the book of Unlimited. 84 sets have been played. We also had a golden set. It's time for one last go-around. 3 final sets to define a season for every one of our 44 athletes as Team Nunaviller takes on Team Hens. This is the first of 2. Welcome inside, everybody. Once again, Kevin Barnett alongside Missy Whittemore. Our Olympian at large, Key Michael, will be along in a bit. Missy, one last moment to make a mark on your season. Both teams a little bit tired, beat up, a long year. What wins this match for one of these two teams?
Well, I think for Morgan Hens, it is all about winning. She has fewer stat points than anyone else who's battling for a medal, but she's won more sets than anyone battling for a medal. For Brooke Nunaviller, it's a little different story. Winning is just a piece. She is second in stat points to only our leader, Leah Edmond. So for her, she has a lot of ways to move up that leaderboard.
You mentioned the leaderboard. Let's take a look at where it stands coming into the evening. The top 2 are going to play each other in our second match. We're looking forward to that, but there's a lot of possible movement right now.
We could not have drawn this up any better. There is only 1 point separating the 3rd and 4th player on that leaderboard. And then take a look at Betty De La Cruz out there in 6th place. Could she possibly jump into the top 4? She would become the first player to medal in all 3 seasons.
I love the battle this sets up between the captains. Brooke Nunaviller, first time in that role.
Yeah, and she is finishing really strong in this final week, even though it's her first time in the captain's chair. She has had the opportunity to watch other players, and I think she has learned well. As I said, second in stat points to only Leah Edmond, not just because she's an excellent defender, but don't let her size deceive you. She is an elite attacker as well. Hard to find a more complete player.
On the other side for Morgan Hens, it started so well, and lately it's been really tough to come by wins.
Yeah, Morgan Hens has relied on those wins for her success. After starting 9-0 this season, she's lost 4 of her last 5. They're going to have to flip the script. Defense will not be an issue. She is the lead leader in digs and certainly a contender to repeat as Defender of the Year for the 2nd season in a row. But can her team keep up with the offense of Team Nunaviller? That's the question.
First serve underway. Nunaviller in the purple jerseys, and the blue-clad Team Hens says Amanda Benson nearly has the first dig. Instead, that will be a point for Claire Chaussee, who has been called upon to do so much in her rookie season.
She really has, and she has handled the load marvelously. She is the only player coming into tonight who is still averaging over 5 kills per set. Last night, Leah Edmond was in that position, Betty De La Cruz was in that position, but right now, Claire Chaussee, the only one who can claim that.
Nice dig by Blake Moeller, who gets the start. Cover there, and Moeller fights it off a second time. Missed opportunity there for Team Nunaviller, and Ali Bastianelli makes them pay. This is how it has worked throughout the entirety of Athletes Unlimited Volleyball, now in its 3rd season. 44 world-class athletes on 4 teams. It's an individual scoring system. Captains determined by that leaderboard each week. We have drafted each Tuesday and played Friday, Sunday, and Monday. Dump picked up by Presley. A prescient play. Nice easy dig for Nunaviller, and Moeller again trying to keep herself at the service line with some defense. All right, right side off the block and out goes Team Nunaviller for their first point, and this is how you win points, Missy.
Take a look at it. You can get those set point wins. Obviously, 60 points for the overall score at the end of the match, and then individual stat points are going to account for roughly 36% of your leaderboard points. There's plus and minus depending on the result or the outcome of an attack or a skill. So we'll keep you updated. It is a live leaderboard, constantly changing.
Outside, Bethania De La Cruz is blocked by Ali Bastianelli, who again is amongst the leaders in blocks.
And Ali Bastianelli has a reputation for being one of the better blockers in the league. Really nice movement here and taking away that low, hard ball.
Outside, right back to Bethania De La Cruz, who's dug by Morgan Hens. That ball shot right to Benson. Hens puts that one nice and high. And a nice conversion down the line comes from Chaussee after, that was about a half-a-mile sprint by Bruns-Tegenrud.
Yeah, what a difficult ball to attack if you're Claire Chaussee. But nice job by Bruns-Tegenrud not giving up on that play. A scoop set up there into left front. And just a beautiful shot deep into the court for Claire Chaussee.
Backslide, Hilly covers it. And they do have two setters in there at the moment. And that ball carries wide. Nicole Edelman-Cagliari has had some time in that opposite position. It is a nice start for Team Hens here, 5-1.
Yeah, actually a setter who they've utilized as an opposite. It's worked quite well for them. She and Sydney O'Hilly have a really nice relationship. And then, of course, for Team Hens, you see Taylor Bruns-Tegenrud at the service line. She, for the first time this week, was drafted as the top setter on her team. But this is, I'd say this Team Hens, over the course of the entire season, has had the most rotating lineup over the course of the weekend. Morgan Hens has used a lot of players, and as we talked about, just so much talent, depth of talent in this league, but also we've reached streak 5 where perhaps a few players are banged up as well.
Training room has been a busy place, according to a couple of athletes I talked to this morning. Bastianelli a little bit late, and nice move by Caffey. That's that opportunity. Here's McClendon with a nice dig. Outside, Presley inside for the winner.
What a nice pair of outside hitters when Claire Chaussee rotates to the back row and you have Yassiana Presley stepping up to the net. And interesting, these two have landed on the same roster quite regularly over the course of the season. They've found a nice groove playing together.
Claire Chaussee steps back to serve. Presley now to that right front. She's playing that opposite spot for the moment. There's a dig into the net. That will stay alive. Tip shot. Hens with two hands under it. Presley tries to turn it inside out. Instead, she stuffs Bethania De La Cruz. None of it possible without the defense of Morgan Hens.
The transition dig here for Morgan Hens, and I love you pointed out the fact, two hands. Look at this. Runs all the way through to this ball, two hands under this, and creates a transition dig for her team. And then what do? They finish it off with defense at the net. Back court, front court, defense has defined the Morgan Hens teams we've seen this season.
A service finds the back line. Is it time for a timeout? That's the question. It is definitely time to put 10 more trees on the planet. Heading into this week, we had 1,260 trees committed thanks to the support of the Aspiration ACES program. Aspiration has committed to putting 10 trees on planet Earth for every ace served in Athletes Unlimited this year. Backslide, a little bit late again. Middles on both sides, not quite getting there. McClendon from way off. Oh, got a lucky little snap there. 9-2, and yeah, there's the timeout.
What a quick start for Team Hens. We said there would not be a letdown of defense, and that's certainly been the case early.
It was Team Nunaviller that got off to a quick start last night. Today, they find themselves on the flip side. Athletes Unlimited Volleyball on ESPN is sponsored by the Air National Guard and by Aspiration, a global leader in financing climate impact.
So there is this thing called a teammate award. Can you explain what that is?
Yeah, so basically before the season, we all sat down with Sue and Quist and we had a great conversation about what motivates us and what we find makes the best teammates. So growth mindset is one of those things that we really talked about with Sue.
A person you can lean into, even in difficult moments, like just opens your arms and gives you a hug and tells you everything's gonna be okay, I'm here for you.
Being that spark, that person who's ready to change the game.
Someone that you can count on every day.
Do you have any predictions for who might get it this year?
Aaron and Tate Bruns.
Taylor Brown.
Nia Parker Robinson.
Nia Parker Robinson.
Rye has been such an amazing teammate for me.
My pretty girl, Deja. Marine, I'm talking about Maria, I'm talking about Simone. I had so much fun with them.
They're outstanding people and I've had so much fun playing with them.
Being with you feels like a hug. That was a perfect description of it. You're an outstanding person.
Thanks.
Great human. Love you.
I love you too.
Welcome back to Athletes Unlimited. It is a 9-2 lead for Team Hens here in the first set. But in addition to the 4 medals that look a little something like this that are going to be handed out today and the all-position team that we met yesterday, there are 3 more awards up for grabs. The first one, Middle Blocker of the Year. You know I love me some Middle Blocker. I think there are a couple players out here to keep our eyes on. Ali Bastianelli, Jenna Rosenthal, both of them. Also, there's Defensive Player of the Year, Morgan Hens in the running. Looking pretty good for a repeat title, but my favorite, Teammate of the Year, which you just heard Deja and Rye talking about. It recognizes a player who's exemplified great leadership skills, is of good character, and has been a positive influence on their teams, regardless of personal performance. A few names on Team Hens come to mind, but with how many good humans there are in this league, I think this is going to be the tightest race of all.
I like that Key made her own medal. Just gave herself one.
If you were here tonight, you too could have a medal, because they are handing those out to our fans.
It's true. That's true. All right, 10-3, Team Hens continues the onslaught.
Moments ago, you saw Yassiana Presley there take a swing from the right side and get blocked. She's actually playing in the opposite position. She's a really, she's a player that captains can use in a lot of different roles. They've used her on the left side and the right side. There's weeks where she's passed, weeks where she hasn't passed. Right now, Hens using her as an opposite hitter, and they have Deja McClendon opposite Claire Chassé. So it gives them a lot of options. I mentioned earlier that Presley and Claire Chassé have played together quite a bit. They've been together in 4 of the 5 weeks here at AU.
They've tried to take some passing pressure off of Presley here and there. Service pressure being applied by Ali Bastianelli, who pulled one out of her quiver there. I like the shoot the arrow celebration. Put that one on the list. McClendon elects not to take a swing. Moeller will get it back, but Caffey in front. It's been a strange season for Kayla Caffey.
Interesting in that she doesn't always start at the beginning of the weekend, but she tends to be this player who works her way into the lineup, and then in so doing is a player who's one of the league leaders in blocks per set. So she makes the absolute most of her time on the court. In fact, it's been hard to keep her off the court, I think you would say.
That ball dunked down over the back row. Taylor Burns taking her. Why she didn't jump at that one. Team Nunaviller, they're certainly capable of putting some runs on people.
Yeah, this is a pretty dangerous lineup of arms, and they've gone with Lindsay Stalzer in the opposite position, something that adjustment they made last night. And she's a high flyer, so she's a great blocker out there at that pin.
Another tough ball generates an opportunity, and the captain puts it down the line. Presley high ball, but Danya has seen that before. And that was in the net, so they fight it off with Stalzer there on the right-hand side again. Speaking of switching up lineups, we saw Lindsay Stalzer last night for the first time extended opposite run.
Yeah, and I think that was a difficult set for her. As a right-handed player who hasn't spent a lot of time at that right pin, that ball's dying inside a little bit, and she just wasn't able to get her feet there.
Yeah, your footwork, that's exactly right, becomes all the more important when that's the case. Another tough serve. Caffey. Nice high. Here's a free ball drill. Misdirection, and out of the back row comes Chassé.
Really nice choice by Taylor Bruns. Tag and root. You have to think that Team Nunaviller is prepared for that. This would not be the strongest offensive rotation here for Team Hens. They've got Moeller and Deja McClendon across the front row with a setter. So they're going to rely heavily on Claire Chassé and maybe even Yassiana Presley out of the back row as well.
Presley put an absolute laser over there, then it's missed by McClendon. I have a feeling that some people will have some words for Deja for that one.
I do too. But Deja and Morgan Hens, two very experienced players on this team, very quickly rolling their fingers forward. Let's move on to the next one. we won't discuss that now.
Moeller, quite aware. Taylor brings Tegenroot to the corner. That's a unique weapon for number 17.
I think one of the reasons why Morgan Hens went with Bruns Tegenroot as her first setter this week, just a different flavor here in week 5. She brings some different things to the floor with that left-handed offense across the front row. And all the players have just talked about how she would be one of those people in the running for Teammate of the Year. She's just been a great person to play with, brings a lot of energy to the floor.
We're keeping a good eye here on the 3rd and 4th positions. Hens and Nunaviller on our live leaderboard. They came in separated by just 1 point. You see that has already changed early on. And the win points are going to play an outsized role here tonight. This is a situation very similar to a match where you have both teams tied headed into the 3rd set. You go, okay, it's simple. No math involved. Whoever wins the set's going to win the overall. It's a 100-point set. Here, whoever wins this match, they're going to be in 3rd, likely. Then whoever loses the match is in danger of sliding well off of our podium.
And this could be one of those things where we're literally waiting on MVP points to see the difference between 3rd and 4th place on the leaderboard.
Absolutely, and if you're in the Unlimited Club, you can vote, so that it does play in. The fan vote is going to be important. Hope you're watching closely, taking notes, looking at the stats, whatever it is you are going to judge your MVP vote on. You better keep track now. We're just in set 1. So far, it's a lot of Hens. Kevin Barnett aside Missy Whittemore and Olympian at large Key Michael. That ball chipped off the edge and out of bounds. That's how you do it when you're pin hitting.
And that's how you do it when the setter is front row. So that is going to be the smallest block that Nunaviller gets a look at over the course of the match, and she takes full advantage of that opportunity.
Remember, this is our first of 2 matches on the night. We have right now 3rd and 4th battling. Well, we'll do it a little bit better. We'll go 1 and 2 battling in our next match. That ball is through the top of the block and out of bounds. The outside hitting position is something that, if you are just joining us at the end of this season, has been upgraded.
Absolutely, and you're getting a look at a couple of the great ones in Nunaviller and Chassé. They have regularly been MVPs over the course of the season, sat atop the stats in terms of kills per set, and as rookies have carried a really heavy load. They both passed in every rotation.
Hens with a nice dig again. Oh, an even better block from Rosenthal, the left paw.
Yeah, and right away you see Chassé saying, that is completely my fault. She wishes she could have that one back. The pickup from Morgan Hens, what just separates her from so many defenders is the transition ability of her ball, that they're able to get swings out of those digs time and time again.
And right as you say that, an ace issued on Morgan Hens. That happens about as often as a lunar eclipse.
Yeah, that is a very rare occasion. And Jenna Rosenthal did a nice job there of going after the seam between Claire Chassé and Morgan Hens. Force them to communicate a little because they're both very capable passers.
Jenna Rosenthal with that high contact point at 6'5" can really cause you some problems with the float serve as Bastianelli misses, but a net violation has the point for Team Hens. Our R1, Julie Voick, and our R2, Devaney McClarty, on top of it.
Bastianelli goes from a quick frown to a smile there. She was irritated with herself for sailing that one long, and then the official saves her with that net violation against Team Nunaviller.
That one's going to carry way too long. A little bit of air under it. Hence another tough pass. And a good change of direction, but a little bit wide for Chassé. So all those positive points, you can throw some negative ones on there for that hitting error.
Chassé, a member of the all-position team that was already announced earlier this week. And it's amazing the success she's had with how much she has been asked to do.
There's a good pass. Misplayed ball is benefit to Team Hens.
Just another example of how defense scores points. And you see it over and over from Team Hens. It is something that they take very seriously. Balls do not hit the floor easily against the ladies in blue tonight.
See, Edelman Cagliari was left in there initially in the opposite spot. Now Stalzer returns. Short serve. Takes Bethania De La Cruz out. And that was down the line for a winner. Serving is not always about aces, is it?
That was such a great serve by Ali Bastianelli because she caused Betty De La Cruz to go to the floor. She was no longer an offensive option. Makes things a whole lot easier on your block, and you take the best attacker out of the picture. It's the little pieces like that that have Hens up 7.
It was 9-2 when Nunaviller called her first time out. That same +7 exists at 19-12. Yosiana Presley and Team Hens looking good.
We've talked about just how good the outside play has been over the course of the season, and we've got 2 good ones on display tonight in Nunaviller and Chassé. Let's take a look at really what makes these players just so good. It has a lot to do with their range. We start with Brooke Nunaviller, and you see she's in the passing line, something that she does quite well. Gets outside the court for her big approach, and here they give her a sliver of line, and she takes every bit of it, drills it deep into the court. These players are so good at taking what's given to them, but also the ability to go sharp angle inside the block, creating kills that just don't even look available. Across the net, you're gonna see a lot of the same from Chassé. 2 really young, talented outside hitters, again, in the passing line, as both are asked to pass in all 6 rotations. And this time, look at Chassé as she goes up here and just rips it hard into the cross court, showing off her range again as well, as she also has that ability to turn it deep down the line. 2 of the best going head to head right here in match 1 tonight. Key, what do you have about these players?
Well, I spoke to Claire before the match just to make sure she's been taking full advantage of all the athletic training facilities available here, because warming her shoulder with Hyperice products, massage, stretching before every game, the rookie has taken more swings than any other player this season. There you can see 592 attacks. Next closest, Edmond, 100 less, basically. She told me she's actually used to it. Her last year at Louisville was a similar situation. Their other outside hitter was injured, so she was carrying a lot of the load. But after this week, she has a couple weeks off. She's looking forward to the rest. She'll be back in Wisconsin, and I wouldn't be surprised to catch her dipping her shoulder in the snow every single day.
That's such a good point, though, Key. Anna DeBeer was injured last year when she was at Louisville, and so this is a position that wouldn't feel strange to her or uncomfortable to be taking so many swings out of the back row. And some players, I think, play themselves into a rhythm with the more balls that they're able to attack.
Yeah, Claire Chassé actually on Thursday is going to move to Grand Rapids. So she will be getting all that lake effect snow on the Michigan side. There'll be plenty to go around for that shoulder. And also for her platform, as that ball is issued as an ace from the Big Beth. That is a veteran-on-veteran play right there, acing McClendon. Receiving, only 1 player has received more serves than the 344 coming into tonight that Claire Chassé has received, and it's a whopping 345 for Leah Edmond. So both of them have seen far more serves than anyone else. Bethania De La Cruz served that one deep. And her team will be the beneficiary here. Caffey, though, is stopped by Blake Moeller.
Team Nunaville trying to take a page from Team Hens and create that service pressure. It's something that Team Hens does so well, because to be honest, when you look at these teams and you kind of compare rosters on paper, there's some really big arms on Team Nunaville, and you feel like surely they're going to jump out to a lead. But with the service pressure and then the defense, the blocking at the net like that from Blake Moeller, we have seen Team Hens be able to compile points.
Yeah, how about that emergency cover there that nets the Nunaviller kill eventually. This is just the beginning of your night, remember. We're enjoying this matchup between Nunaviller and Hens, trying to determine third place on the season. Tonight at 9:30, we will determine first place on the season, the championship on the line, and our team Linehan versus Team Edmond. Final match of the season. It all comes down to one 3-set series, unless we go to another golden set. Well, we're looking forward to that championship showcase. Hope you are too. We'll be right here on ESPNU with that one, as Blake Moeller collects the kill. Moeller an impact already in her first start.
Really nice job there by Bruns Tegenrud of just spreading the offense from antenna to antenna. They got Jenna Rosenthal across the net. We know that she's a really dynamic blocker, a good mover. So try to spread her thin.
Blake Moeller with that, her first kill. Had a couple of near stops, been getting over the net, making some plays. Set over, Presley gets it. Taylor Bruns nearly had it, instead it's covered. Again, Team Nunaville doing a nice job with the little plays. Another small play, Hilly. Does it turn out to be big? Not yet. See if Team Hens can get a cut here. Chaussee takes it, that's up into the ceiling. Moeller a little bit behind the ball, and Nunaviller is over.
So yeah, I have to point out that right back defense of Yasiana Presley, though. Some really nice digs, picked up some short shots as well. And Yasiana Presley has been asked to do a lot in terms of switching positions sometimes from weekend to weekend or from match to match or maybe even set to set, playing different positions across the back row.
22-16. We have a challenge as to whether the ball was down. It gives you a chance to both judge that on the screen, but also go on over and join the Unlimited Club. If you become a gold member, you can receive a Volleyball Gold box. That box includes an exclusive jersey, a Morgan Hens bobblehead. Yeah, I have one of those. And more limited available merchandise. As I look at the replay here, I'm trying to decide and read. And AUProsports.com/membership to become a member today.
It was that Chaussee short shot over the top of the block that Sydney Hilly came diving in to make a play on.
That is so close, too.
That is really close.
Is that a half and half, or are you going to give that one a seal of approval, Missy?
Oh, and look, Nunaville are blocking our view. I don't know if I can make a decision.
Dela Cruz perfectly placed.
Her teammates have done a great job covering her up here, so even if it was down, we may not know. I think she's under it.
Originally ruled as an up, and play continued with an eventual point for Team Nunaville, and that is confirmed. Team Nunaville comes in at 1-1. They have had a nice weekend, despite the 1-1 record. They gave Team Edmond everything they could handle. 61-60 was the loss for Team Nunaville, and then they came out on fire yesterday and dominated Team Linehan.
And against Team Edmond, it was just a really slow start for them. But by set 3, I felt like this is a team that's going to be dangerous over the course of the weekend. It just took some time to get going. A lot of new pieces playing together. For instance, Sydney Hilly, over her entire time here at AU, is playing with Betty Dela Cruz for the first time this weekend.
Presley with more defense. Yes, one more.
Presley.
Tip, roll, Presley's there. Not enough. That would have been fun.
That would have been really fun. But what has been fun is Presley's defensive abilities out of right back. She is forcing them to work hard to score. This ball off the block, one arm save. And then even this one, getting a great arm on it, just can't quite get it over the net.
Outside back, Chaussee again tries to jam it. Instead, Cagliari is there. And then the soft touch of the lefty.
This is a 2-hitter rotation, and so Jenna Rosenthal cheating a little out there towards Chaussee, and she's having to deal with a double block time and time again.
I don't know. Taylor Bruns-Tegenroot might have a little bone to pick with you on that one. The turn and swing lefty. Over the top of the block, looking for the back line, and missing is Brooke Nuneviller. And they're discussing whether to challenge or not, whether that was in or out. Already challenged once. Devaney McClarty is anticipating the challenge.
And you saw some indecision there by Brooke Nuneviller. We mentioned this is her first time in the captain's chair, so that's her decision whether or not she wants to issue a challenge. And she was leaning into some of the players around her. This is an interesting team, and there's 4 players on Team Nuneviller who have been captains over the course of the season. They're all on the floor right now. You've got Sydney Hilly, Betty De La Cruz, Jenna Rosenthal, and now Brooke Nuneviller has been a captain as well. So lots of people with input, but it's really Brooke's decision in the end.
I had it out with no touch in live play.
I did too.
I still don't think there's a touch there.
I think it's out.
And I believe that ball is out, and we're going to be looking at a set point for Team Hens.
But I think one of the interesting aspects of, you know, having been in the captain's chair and then maybe the next week not being in the captain's chair, you know, how much voice, I think you have to look to your captain, like how much input do they want? You know, how much experience do they have as a captain? Some of the younger players have said they have really gone to the older players and leaned into their experience and said, you know, this is uncomfortable for me. You know, what can you do? You know, I need your help, and, you know, have really depended on those older players.
Historically, when the first couple players are drafted, there is a lot of discussion about who's next. There's been quite a bit of input, especially as the season wears on and people have different opinions, and you see kind of groups coalescing together and picking each other early and often to get a core group in any one week as that ball is confirmed out.
In our next match, when you see Team Linehan, I think it's definitely been the case for her and Molly McCage, an experienced player in this league. Linehan has really leaned into Molly McCage. They found a rhythm with Nutsara. They brought Willow Johnson into that, and that has really been their core over the last 3 weeks.
Set point. Moeller trying to drop it right in the corner. Instead, Rosenthal, the beneficiary of a good pass. So another opportunity here for Hens to close it out. And remember how important every point is throughout a season, but certainly in any one set. We nearly saw a huge comeback in our second match on Friday. Bad pass, that ball out of bounds. There's another one creeping closer. Remember, we're playing on aggregate, so every one of these points matters when we get to the end.
And I think that's a good point, because at 24 points, it seemed like, is it worth it for Brooke Nuneviller to issue a challenge?
Sure.
Maybe not in that set, but as you mentioned, in the aggregate score, it's certainly worth it to slow things down and see if you can close the gap just a little bit.
Another bad pass. And another good opportunity. Rosenthal will pass first. Betty. Yeah, into the stands, and that's another one.
And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was worth it for this set alone. We shall see.
What was 24-17 is now 24-20. We'll go timeout the other way. First pressure that's been applied to Hens, who jumped out to a 5-1 lead. It was 9-2 before Nuneviller called the first timeout. They had to call another at 19-12, but now a little bit of momentum. It's maybe too late, but they've closed the gap importantly for our entire match. Gives us a chance, though, to go into the action with the Air National Guard and Allie Bastianelli. Here's what it's like to play middle.
Side, side, side. Watch in front or the A or B.
Someone that bodied 5 times. I'm so sorry. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
I dare someone to do the chair shot in those glasses, bro.
And maybe you'll understand the extended huddle there as the players try to rest a moment between plays as you follow Allie Bastianelli and see just how hard she's working over the course of a rally, from left antenna to right antenna, off the net in transition. And she truly is one of the hardest workers, because she is a real two-way middle in terms of her ability to defend and attack.
Yeah, defense to the net, but this, Morgan Hens, defense in the back row at a superlative level throughout.
just unmatchable, to be quite honest. The transition digs like this one that allow her team not just second chances, but really allow her team in system rhythm swings time and time again. A key for this group has been to create service pressure, because if they can do that, they defend with the best.
You're talking about quality of touch in the sport of volleyball. One name comes to mind, Misty May Trainer, and her on the beach. Multiple gold medals in a row, but not only getting to balls that seemed impossible, but to your point, making them playable.
Controlling them.
And that ball is right on the back line. The fourth opportunity to close this first set is taken by Team Hens out of their timeout. So they will close it 25-20. They gave back a few at the end. Will that matter as we go to our second and third sets for the final match for each of these teams in the 2023 Athletes Unlimited volleyball season? We have 2 more sets to play. Ali Bastianelli has to come out in these. We need to see these in the game.
This is what we've always dreamed of. A place to compete, where we're seen and heard.
This moment right here, can nobody take this from me?
A platform to be unapologetically ourselves and celebrated for it.
We are the future.
The space to be loud, where we are resilient, ruthless, radiant. Athletes Unlimited defies all expectations. And only we know the determination it takes to get here. This is where champions are forged. No more asking, explaining, or justifying what we do. Get ready, because this is our moment.
First match of the night, 25-20 in set number 1. Team Hens utilizes 23 digs to come out with the victory. We are here in our last evening. Everyone is inside the arena enjoying The final night of Athletes Unlimited Season 3, and we're now pleased to be joined by John Patricoff, CEO and co-founder of Athletes Unlimited. John, welcome to your own party.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
Great to have you back, and this year has been elevated. We know you're a volleyball expert by this point. 3 years, what have you noticed in year 3?
Well, Kevin, you've been with us since day one of AU back in 2021, and Season 3 has been, it just keeps getting better and better. Tonight, you're seeing some of the best volleyball in the world. It's intense. You can see how much the players care, how much they're enjoying themselves, and great to be in the building with everyone here. Great to have guests like Sue Enquist and Jamie Davis, the head of USA Volleyball. I mean, I think the eyes of volleyball in the United States are all watching, so it's great.
John, the popularity of volleyball from the youth level all the way through the professional level is just exploding in the United States. You obviously saw that potential 3 years ago. What is it that you saw in this game that drew you to volleyball?
Well, I am an entrepreneur, and I've been through a couple different ventures in my life. And when we said we were starting volleyball, you had that rare reaction, which is everyone said, what has taken so long? How can there not be pro volleyball in the United States? And we were the first league in 2021 that, had been over 20 years since there had been pro volleyball. And now we're the first to completely, 3 successful seasons. And the growth is just tremendous. I mean, it's an amazing moment. We were lucky to spot it back then and fortunate that, we were able to be the first to get it going.
Now, Athletes Unlimited, of course, a multi-sport platform running not only in volleyball, which has been an Olympic sport going back to 1964, but also now lacrosse and softball have been added. What's the interplay between Olympic play and pro play?
Listen, they all feed one another. I mean, what's so important in any of the sports that we're in is the ecosystem that's created. Everywhere from the youth level up to the national team to the pros, obviously college as well, and everything kind of supports one another. And so we're really glad. I think the piece that's been missing in women's sports, I mean, we're thankful, thanks to Title IX, that there's been so much improvements at the college level. But until recently, pro women's sports was absolutely lacking. There wasn't the investment, even though there were so many fans and so many athletes. And so we're glad to come in. I think it's a big opportunity, and we're now just seeing increasing attention from partners, from sponsors, and fans finally have the product that they've been wanting to have for so long. And, of course, the opportunity for athletes to stay in the United States and play in front of them.
With the unique scoring system that you've implemented here, there's still a lot of points to be earned tonight, but a 3-year veteran of the league, Leah Edmonds, sits atop the leaderboard right now. Do you think she's going to get it done? And what do you love about her style of play?
Yeah, I think she is, and I have to say, it's incredible to see Leah. She's been an outstanding player at Athletes Unlimited for 3 years, and I think people underestimate, for people who are new to AU, absolutely how hard it is to win this competition over 5 weeks, not only to play your best on the court, but you have to be in that captainship. You have to play that role. I think people don't really understand playing with new teams each week, how absolutely demanding it is. And for Leah to kind of succeed as she has, remember that you don't just get to the top by being the best individual performer. You get there by your team win points, and Leah's been able to do both. She's a tremendous person. I'm excited to see what's going to happen tonight, and I think we can all expect her to be at the top of the podium at the end of the day.
John, you touched on it there, the unique requirements for players to be in that captain's role, to make every choice throughout the week and in match. It's so different. When you guys were concepting it, did you have an idea of how impactful that would be for the challenge that those athletes would face being in that new paradigm?
I don't think we fully grasped how difficult it would be, but I think we've always had since the outset this belief that partnering with the athletes, putting more control in the athletes' hands was an essential guiding principle. And, we learned that very early on in our planning phase of Athletes Unlimited. It was from a meeting we had in October of 2019 with some of the softball players that were part of the first AU softball season. And we brought them into New York. We had this great meeting, and Jonathan, myself, Sherry Kemp walked out and said, we need to partner with the athletes in everything we do here. And that's been the guiding principle. This morning, Jonathan and I got together with the player executive committee of volleyball and, talked about the season, recapped, and already starting to look ahead to next year. And that partnership has been essential. And seeing what you have to do on the court, as Leah's had to do and others, to be both a captain, to be a player, and you have to really bring your full self. And I think that's one of the reasons it's such an exciting competition, because it's intense. You're around world-class players. And at the end of the day, you can't just go out there and be an individual performer. You got to really bring your team along with you.
Well, John, congratulations on what has been a successful Season 3. We're looking forward to the conclusion tonight. Which bench are you going to stay with right now? We're going to keep you in one of the banks here.
You know me, I'm going to be all over the place. I keep moving around. They never like to be, caught in one space at one time, Keep them guessing.
All right, John Patricoff, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
All right, Athletes Unlimited co-founder and CEO John Patricoff with a lot of good detail there on the way that this league started, the development of it, the thought behind it, and then the execution now in year 3.
And I love that he pointed to the fact of 5 weeks, because I just don't think you can overstate how hard it is to play at a high level for 5 weeks like that, as he mentioned, with all the changes that are taking place around you in terms of your roster. And yet Leah Edmond has been able to do that. And so in the second matchup tonight, we're going to see Leah Edmond go against Allie Linehan. And the one difference really in their season has been consistency. That's why right now Leah is at the top. It's going to take a big performance from Allie tonight to overcome that.
Leah in her 3rd year.
Yes.
Allie in her 1st.
Exactly. I think that's it right there.
Yeah,
yes.
That's been huge. If you look at week 2, and we'll dig into this in our second match coming up 9:30 Eastern on ESPN2. Join us for that, the battle for the championship title, the only individual title in the sport of volleyball. Will be on ESPNU at 9:30. The demands of that. Allie Linehan in week 2 struggled mightily. First time in the captain's chair, scored just over 100 points for a weekend, which is rough, and that has mattered into what will be the final night of competition.
And she was very open about it. Just said, I was very uncomfortable with, making those decisions. She said, I'm a people pleaser. I wanted everyone to be happy, and then you feel like the world is caving in when you're not winning and no one's scoring points, and you feel this pressure. And so she's found, some unique things that have worked for her in the second go-around, as she's been in the captain's chair now for 2 consecutive weeks and been much more successful. But I think she's really leaned into some experience around her. They joked, she and Molly McCage said they were game planning in the laundry room at the hotel, but they literally were. And Molly McCage, why would you not lean into her experience, right?
Well, you make a terrific point in that it's not only how you respond in a match. Right now, the way we're watching Team Nunavilla respond to being controlled in the first set, now they're doing a little bit of controlling the second, right? You always look at that. How does an athlete respond when things aren't going their way? In that captain's week, things didn't go Allie Linehan's way. You go, well, is she cut out for this, or did she learn anything? She came back 2 weeks later and had her best week during a week in which she was captain.
Savannah Collins talked to her earlier this week and did an incredible piece on Allie Linehan's journey here at Athletes Unlimited that you'll want to take a look at on socials. And Allie Linehan said, I learned that I still have so much to learn, which is a great place to be.
Indeed. Hentz with the dig. Back to live action. Hentz with another dig. And Moeller, who's been fighting off bees all night, couldn't quite get that one up into the air.
Fighting off bees. I'd like to see you do that. What exactly does that look like?
Well, when the dig comes right at you as you turn around from the block and you just make a move, just swat away the bees, and the ball goes up and over.
No one could do that as well as you, I'm sure.
Well, the imitation of it. I'm sure people can dig better than I can. I'm going to make that my personal volleyball shirt. Nice high seam swing from Nunavilla. Off the block to the back line.
Let's take another look. Defense to offense. Amanda Benson with a gorgeous dig. And then there, you said it. It's the high seam deep to the corner. What a great swing by Brooke Nunaviller.
7 kills for the captain and her side, +2 on the scoreboard. Betania, second ace of this match. The Big Beth. The Dominican star who could once again be an Olympian next year with her team qualified.
Leads the league in aces and sat in 6th place entering this evening. But because of her ability to rack up stat points, not just from the kill standpoint, but she can rack them up at the service line as well. She digs a lot of balls. She still has hope of being a medal recipient at the end of the night. And it would be the first time that someone has received a medal in all 3 seasons.
And her jump serve from that left side, she switches it up. Most right-handers will serve from the right-hand side. She goes that left-hand side. She's not only hitting it hard, she's hitting it with spin. She's going a little bit wrist away, and it's tailing away from the receivers. And if you're a receiver, you're used to seeing balls that come from your left to your right. You're not used to seeing a ball that tails from your right to your left. Unless you have that in your gym, if you have a hard-serving lefty or someone like Betania, and I guarantee, you don't have anyone in your gym like Betania.
No, I don't think so. Those are few and far between.
They're challenging in or out here on that swing. It's close, but it's out.
Yeah, definitely out, but I like the call here by Captain Hentz. Let's slow it down for a second. Let's regroup here. Hence only leads by 1 right now in the overall aggregate score. So let's slow things down, see if we can keep afloat.
And also be sure and follow all of your athletes across your favorite social media platforms. You'll find game highlights, fit checks, and hot seat, behind the scenes action, and so much more. AU Pro Sports is where you want to be throughout the year, not just throughout the season, as Hentz takes that one tailing away. And Deja McClendon blasts it through. Deja, who at this point, 5 weeks in, we're talking about legs that are not fresh. Deja hasn't played that much, and she's getting healthy.
Yes, yes. She was not healthy at the beginning of the season, has been inactive or active with limitations. And so at a time in the year when there's some people who feel like their jump might be failing them, I like this inserting Deja McClendon in, a little new energy, some fresh legs. It just gives them a different look. It allows them to play Yassiana Presley as a right side and keep her out of serve receive, which has worked well for her.
Moeller one-on-one nearly had the stuff. No swing to be had here for Caffey. Right side now, stalls are a little inside out. And Yassiana Hentz with the dig. What a bunch of work Yassiana Presley is doing over there in the corner.
Isn't she, though?
Yeah.
I mean...
It's like there's 2 Morgan Hentz.
Yes. And I've said it each week, and I just can't help but point it out once again that players who play alongside Morgan Hentz tend to have their best defensive nights. You know, I think you want to meet her level. You want to meet her effort. And we've seen it from Yassiana Presley tonight.
Look, right now, Morgan Hentz has 8 digs. Yassiana Presley, 8 digs.
Yeah.
Maybe make it 9. That was just over, though, and Caffey cleans it up expertly.
I think that's one of the things that makes Yassiana Presley, though, and Brooke Nuneviller so dangerous is that they have the ability to rack up dig points as well. They're both such good defenders.
Chicago, Illinois native. That's a nice place to be from.
Mm-hmm. I don't know anybody from there.
No, because you're from Southern Illinois. That ball down the line by Blake Moeller.
I'm from the real Illinois.
Is that what they call it? You haven't figured it out. It's an all-Illinois booth tonight. Here for our final evening of Athletes Unlimited Volleyball. Glad you're with us. ESPNU, your home for volleyball tonight, 9:30 Eastern. Our championship match coming up because our number 1 and number 2 individual point leaders are going to face off with their teams. Allie Linehan against Leah Edmond. A couple of Kentucky Wildcats. It's Cats on the pins for the title. We had Cats on the pins the first night.
Cats on the pins the first night, and they were playing together. And that team that Leah Edmond put together in week 1 was so successful that we have seen those players have to divide and yet stay atop the leaderboard for the course of the season. It's fun to take a look back at that very first roster and see how Leah Edmond really set those players up for success. Landing them atop the leaderboard as they swept that weekend. And then you've had players like Hentz who since then have been able to build their own teams the rest of the way and continue to rack up those points.
Word has it we're going to get Craig Skinner in here, who coached both of those athletes in college, and talk to him about how he's been following his former college stars. Big approach from Nuneviller, and it pays.
Nuneviller does such nice work in transition to give herself a quality swing every time. And you know, she's such a defender, and yet as soon as she makes the defensive play, she's working to get outside the court. You know, she's not the biggest outside hitter, so she needs to be able to get the big jump that she has and then see around that block.
Right into the net. That point will go to Nuneviller. And you were talking about that overall. Again, we're back to 35-34. It's 40 points for each set victory, 60 for that overall. You're going to get to our championship match, and Allie Linehan is going to need a sweep. She's going to need 180 team points as a basis for success. Coleman Cagliari with the bump set to Bethania, who has a little too much angle.
Haven't seen as much of Betty as you might expect. That was her 10th attempt. She's killed half of them, 5 kills.
Well, contrast that with Brooke Nuneviller, who has 28 attempts. As Betania looks down the line for the second time, and our official Julie Voick says, no, that's out. And I think that's going to precipitate a challenge. Both of our lines people indicated in.
And Sydney Hilly certainly motioning to Brooke Nuneviller, yes, this one's worth a challenge. And I don't think Brooke was in a position where she could see the ball at all, so she certainly had to look to her teammates there to know whether or not it was worth the challenge.
You can be the judge at home. That's close.
It's really close. I didn't actually realize it was that close. In the gym, I thought, oh yeah, that's definitely in from where I was sitting, but I'm gonna have to see a couple angles of this one.
My ball's out.
And that's a quick decision.
Devaney McClarty on it. Another Illinois person, by the way.
Athletes Unlimited has brought the right people on board, haven't they?
Place is lousy with Midwesterners. So Team Nuneviller is watching its lead evaporate with Claire Chaussee at the line. Presley, Bastianelli, and McClendon in the front row. De La Cruz. Yeah, just high, hard hands, and that time with angle.
She makes a living out of high, hard hands. Does it better than anyone here. That is her game.
Team Nuneviller was -5 in the first set. They have fought their way back. They currently carry a lead of 3 and are closing in on the overall. We are midway through our first match with Betania De La Cruz, our reigning champ.
Welcome back to Athletes Unlimited. It is a 15-12 lead in the second set to Team Nuneviller over Team Hens. But I have found a couple of friends. In fact, you all came out, the McClendon family, in droves to support. But Roger, you've been through a retirement before. I know it wasn't a surprise to you, for sure, that Deja was retiring. I know Aunt Pia called and cried. She's the biggest fan. But did you give any advice to Deja for this weekend?
Yeah, I did. First of all, I said, you know, this is a moment in time and enjoy it, enjoy the ride. And you know, she's done a great job and had a great, fabulous career. And transition is tough, but, you know, go out on a high.
Well, Deja's been such an important part of these Athletes Unlimited family. But what do you think makes her such a special person and player?
Well, first of all, she's the ultimate teammate. You know, she cares about, you know, all of her players. But the most important thing, she's tenacious. She loves to win. She hates to lose. And she plays with so much vigor and passion on every day and lays it on the line. So hardest worker.
Well, Suzanne, we know what a good player Deja is. I've been her teammate before as well. So it's no surprise to me that she is up in the running for Teammate of the Year. Is that what you've seen from her whole life?
Her whole life. And watching her play in elementary school, through college, 10 years of pro, she's been through a lot. She's seen a lot. She's a good teammate. I've seen her really enjoy mentoring the rookies and being on the player executive committee. You know, if it happens, it'd be great. I think she would deserve something like that. At least being in the running is a nice a nice thing to add to her list of accomplishments.
Have you seen that pressure change her at all, being on the player executive committee and being a player, or is she just the same old Deja?
She's Deja. And so she enjoys life. She enjoys being involved. She enjoys the game. It's just Deja. It is.
Well, we love her just the way she is. And I knew she didn't want to make this weekend about her, but I thought it was really important that we honor her career in some way. So thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you.
And back to you, Kevin and Missy.
Key, I know with the McClendon family, it's always game time on birthdays. So everybody's going to bust out the games and pick them and play them. I mean, we all know Deja's awesome, but it's a competitive family. What game, I wonder what game Roger and Suzanne would choose so they can dominate themselves. That's what I want to know. 17-15.
All right, Roger. Kevin has a question. Would you choose, if you're that competitive, what game would you choose to dominate amongst the family?
I would have to go with ping pong. A little table tennis, you know, a little backhand, a little slice.
Would you win that, or would Deja?
Oh, all my family's competitive, you know, from Maya, Deja, Marcus, you know, Jordan. But I think I have a little bit of an edge on them, you know. So I'm gonna call it that, but they are coming for me.
Well, Deja's gonna have a lot more time to practice, so I'd watch out.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I just love that there will definitely be aftermath for Roger saying that. There will be some people talking some trash.
Yeah, some family members are going to step up to the plate.
He just declared on national television that he is the best McClendon ping pong player that there is.
I do think for Deja and some of the players who are toward the end of their career, to be a part of establishing professional volleyball here in the United States and providing the opportunity for the younger players coming out of college to be able to stay at home, it's a really important piece of the puzzle for them. It's something they're really proud of.
Caffey back to serve. Nunaviller was within 2, make that 3. As you look at the PEC, the Player Executive Committee is responsible for everything you see here. Every decision has to go through the PEC. They have input, they have responsibility, and at the end of the day, it's on them.
Yeah. And I think it's a position that they all take very seriously because they so want there to be success and opportunity for the young volleyball players coming up through the system.
Back to action here as we get to the waning moments. That 20 mark creeping up here in set number 2. Out goes Lindsay Stalzer, and in comes Nicole Edelman-Cagliari to serve and play some defense in that right back. You then don't have offense coming out of that position typically.
What a hybrid player Nicole has been, though. We've seen her set, we've seen her come in for defensive role, we've seen her play front row, swing from the opposite.
Rosenthal just kept that ball alive with her right foot. Aha, it's put away. Second kill with the turn and swing from Taylor Bruns. Tegenroot.
Great timing, too, by Taylor Bruns Tegenroot, knowing when to go to that offense, which she's got the defense scrambled a little. Look at the kick save, Jenna Rosenthal. We had one of those last night. So fun.
Now, you might ask, you saw the ball hit her knee and then her foot. Is that double contact? If it's one movement, it is not considered double contact. No different than if you're playing defense and the ball hits your arm, hits your chest, and comes back. That ball's also legal.
Great point. Well explained. Yeah.
In Foursquare, there might be a different call, but here, and that's volleyball everywhere. Another big approach for Chaussee and blocked. Do not challenge. Jenna Rosenthal into the seam.
Really nice close by Rosenthal. And then Sydney Hilly, who as a setter, you just don't lose a thing in her blocking ability. She is a really solid blocker on the right side.
You mentioned Hilly. She is first among setters in blocking, and there she cleans it up effectively again. Hilly at 6 foot and athletic is a tall setter.
Yeah.
And that pays there. 21-18. Team Nunaviller has responded here in the second set. They're going to need a couple more to get even. But they did a lot of that work. Remember, they fought off 4 set points in that first set. They were down 24-17 and came back, put 3 more on the board. That's huge right now. It's 43-41.
Yeah, a little lull from the service line there from Team Nunaviller. At the midway point of set 2, some misses that have kind of allowed Hentz to hang around. I think if they can create service pressure, be more low error, they can close this one out.
You were looking at Bethania De La Cruz's numbers earlier. She's only hitting 200, 7 kills, 4 errors, hit out twice, been blocked twice on 15. Bethania De La Cruz a little below her normal production level.
Yeah, she is hitting at 330 on the year. That's a great number as an outside hitter. So to see her down at near 220, just not her typical night. Also, what we're used to seeing is the performance we saw from her last night where she had 18 kills. That's just what we come to expect from her. I do think that they've taken a little load off her, and as we've mentioned, it's week 5. She talked about having traveled back and spending time with her national team, and she said she had a little issue in her neck and didn't feel great on Friday night with her neck. So as you said, a lot of time in the training room as we approach here this final weekend of play, and some players who maybe just don't have as many jumps left in them.
And Key Michael has more on Bethania De La Cruz.
Well, the main sword for Nunnaviller's Ninjas was sharpened up once again yesterday. 18 kills on just 3 errors compared to those 6 kills and 5 errors she had on Friday. She told me after the match, as you mentioned, Missy, she was dealing with a bit of neck pain, a bit of fatigue, but she's feeling a lot better today, especially having her son Fair in the stands. She said a strong serving is going to be the key to tonight's match. We've already seen her get an ace on the board. Could she get another one? Because a win today, crucial to keep her in the fight for a medal. You mentioned it earlier, it could be the first player in league's history to earn 3 consecutive medals after 3rd in season 1 and champion last year, 2nd in season 1. But Fair is the one that's given her that extra little bit of energy. She called him her kryptonite because when he's not around, she is feeling a little down, but when he's here, it gives her all the extra energy.
It's fun to see the young man Fair back out here. He looked like a kid last year.
I noticed
year before.
that.
Now, yeah, that young man, he is here supporting his mom and enjoying some volleyball. We've seen some aces already in this one. For every ace during this year's Athletes Unlimited volleyball season, Aspiration has committed to putting 10 trees on Mother Earth. 1,260 trees had been committed coming into this weekend thanks to Aspiration's support. Bethania De La Cruz already added 20 in this one. She's got an ace in the first and second sets. And there's another one right on point. Look at our crew predicting the future. 22-18, Team Nunaviller. Brooke, thanks for the oxygen.
And interesting, Betty, just moments ago, Key told us, Betty had said serving will be the key. And, you know, they've gone for aggressive serving. It's resulted in some misses, but now we see it paying off.
Right side. That ball dug back over by Edelman Cagliari. Outside. Thrown to the corner, and I haven't seen one of those go down in a while. Yosiana Presley will collect it.
I've been really impressed with the weekend that Yasiana Presley has put together. She's been very low error, and I feel like she's been able to balance her offense and her defense, contribute in so many different ways. I think a lot of it has to do with playing with Morgan Hintz, who manages her team really well and has done a good job of not overloading Yasiana Presley in terms of serve receive. There's times when they've pulled her into the serve receive. They also have kind of allowed her to get comfortable using her on the left side early in the weekend, where I think she felt a little more comfortable. But now as the weekend goes on and their needs change, they've moved her to the right side. Just a great job by Morgan Hintz of using the players on her roster to the fullest.
Bethania collects another kill. I mentioned her efficiency. That number can easily go well north. Bethania's the kind of hitter who can generate 8 of 8 in a streak.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm like, those numbers can change so quickly.
Rosenthal, that ball just kept sailing. It might have been out. And confusion there. Who should take that ball?
Well, somebody's got to take it high above the net.
Okay.
So I don't necessarily have a choice of who it is, but go meet it above the net and just call the other player off early. Who do you prefer, the outside or the middle?
Be aggressive with it.
Yeah.
If I'm an outside, I'm going to come get it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Middles like to stand
It's
around.
an awkward position for the middle, I think. Her back was to the net, so I agree the outside, but you got to go play it above the net.
Set point here for Team Nunaviller, and not only that, but it would be a lead heading into our third set. No. Now hoping for a tie. We are still in the window where the third set is just going to be a 100-point set.
Yeah.
Whoever wins it by 2 is going to take it home. Second chance to close for Nunaviller here. Could it be Hintz? Team Hintz that does a little work here at the end of a set.
This is what we saw from Team Nunaviller at the end of set 1. Can Team Hintz close the gap?
Caffey and De La Cruz in the front row. De La Cruz. Yeah, with authority. And we're going to head into set 3 tied. So there will be no golden set. There will simply be a 100-point set available in set 3 as we watch Bethania close it out.
And the bad news for Team Hens is not only does Nunaviller take the set, but Betty De La Cruz is heating up. Watch out, set 3.
25-20, Team Hens in the first, Team Nunaviller 25-20 in the next. We head tied at 45 to set number 3, the decider. Team Hens, Team Nunaviller wanted to end with a W. Athletes Unlimited Volleyball on ESPN is sponsored by the Air National Guard and by Aspiration, a global leader in financing climate impact.
I'm a leader who really goes all out as soon as I step on the court. I really will do whatever it takes to get the point.
Nunaviller wins it!
Team Nunaviller is honestly just enjoying the sport of volleyball, and I think being an undersized outside hitter, I prioritize different things than other people might. For example, like ball control is going to be really huge for me, and just getting big arms and just try to be an all-around great volleyball team.
A golden set is impossible. Instead, we have a century set. 100 set points are available and will be won via this third set. We are tied at 45. Kevin Barnett alongside Missy Whittemore, along with Key Michaels. You look at our live leaderboard. That big battle in third and fourth. Still close. Morgan Hens has to have this set. There is no question. Bethania De La Cruz. She could do some work here.
If they can get that century set and if she can rack up some stat points, there's still a chance for her to make her way into medal contention.
156 points beyond the 100 for the set would be in stats and MVP. Don't forget about the MVP
Very
voting.
true. I think it just speaks so high to the play, the season of Morgan Hens to see a libero there on the board with the possibility of being a top 4 and medaling in here in our third season of AU. And you absolutely do not want to miss what is next. Leah Edmond takes on Allie Linehan in the finale of Season 3 of Athletes Unlimited. That's going to be at 9:30 on ESPNU. They started the season together in the purple jersey, absolutely dominated, but they will go head-to-head to finish things off, and only one of them will be able to walk away as the champion.
Set 3 getting underway. Brooke Nuneviller with the serve. Taylor Bruns Tegenrud is 3 for 3 on that move. Yeah, just do it all yourself, number 17. Let's check in with our Olympian, Key Michael.
Well, I had to head into the purple huddle and see what was going on, and there was a lot of chat in there about just leaving it all on the court. They have one more set to play together, but one middle who wasn't just standing around, as you mentioned, Kevin, was Jenna Rosenthal. She is talking about getting really good block touches and being able to convert them. She said they have to make the most of small touches. The important part right now is going to be serving on Claire Chaussee to get the other team out of rhythm. But also, she said, anytime there's going to be a perfect pass, I'm ready for the hapa. And she wanted you to quote her on that.
The hapa? Okay. What about the boom, boom down?
We've moved on from that. That was last week.
Oh, sorry. I'm behind the times.
This is week 5, Kevin.
Thanks.
Can you please catch up?
Gosh. Key, thinking of new ways to tell me I'm old. Hence 2-1. All right, here's Rosenthal back to the service line. She has already done some work from the service line previously. Short one there. Presley is rejected. Caffey and Hilly.
Statistically, 2 of the best blockers in the league, and this was textbook. Look at this, the close, the press, gorgeous.
Hilly's gonna collect that one. Rosenthal with 1 ace. This time she's working on a short, deep game. Dump right past Taylor Bruns Tegenrud. So both setters have traded kills early in set 3.
Sydney Hilly finding the sideline here. Bruns Tegenrud is cheating in there defensively. Sydney Hilly able to see that, just throws it right past her.
Both setters now with 3 Ks. Chaussee tips into the fire. A charging Rosenthal comes up short of credit.
And you see that off blocker release across the net to pick up the short tip, and Chaussee is purposefully several times now going over that, a little deeper into the court, into that no man's land.
Claire Chaussee not doing herself any favor on the leaderboard with that miss. Remember, every service error is -8. You're looking for those aces, which are +12. But if you serve in, it's just a 0.
And as you've alluded to, Claire Chaussee has just been asked to do so much in terms of the number of attempts, the serve receive. She is not atop the leaderboard here at the end of the season, but did make the all-position team. So the players playing around her certainly recognize her contributions over the course of this year.
Presley looking for those high hands. Doesn't quite get them, and Team Nuneviller has a 2-point lead. Right back to Presley. Soft touch to the line in front of Benson.
Couldn't have placed it there any better if she walked across the net. I mean, that was the perfect shot by Yassiana Presley, who just looks really comfortable in this final weekend, just getting better and better.
A little ice cream cone tip here.
Yeah, I like it.
Full hand wide open.
Yeah.
Moeller didn't get there, played some defense instead. Trying to take the setter out, they do that. Bastianelli, oh yeah, whips out the pause. Surprised she didn't go with the back set. That's been her MO. High ball right side, dug by Chaussee. Either side trying to find some offensive rhythm here. How about McClendon? A test of cardiovascular fitness continues.
Allie Bastianelli setting Claire Chaussee out of the back court.
They don't call it, let him play. Bastianelli with another set. 3 in this rally. Where are you going to go? Middle. Yes, finally. Oxygen, anyone?
I mean, there is so much good in this rally. Where would we start? But Ali Bastianelli falling to her knees and setting Claire Chassé up out of the back row has got to be my favorite play of this one. Brunsteigenroot goes to the floor for an extended breath, and Yasiana Presley says, let me join you.
Sweet relief after all that work for 5-5.
Right.
Well, that one rose up on Bethania. She fights it off. Chassé with the dig. Right side, Presley. Like to see Presley get in rhythm out there. She's not getting swings, and you cannot continue to give Bethania de la Cruz opportunities.
Yeah.
Betty now 9 kills on 21. Still just in that 170 range efficiency. Pretty low for her. It's been a defensive-minded match. 39 digs for Team Hens. No shock there. Team Nunavillers kind of come alive with 35. That ball off the block and out of bounds. Team Hens. And we get to welcome in Gabby Blossom, the backup setter for Team Hens in this week. Hi, Gabby.
How are you guys?
Oh, we're having a good time. Tell us about your season here at Athletes Unlimited. We haven't seen a ton of you on the court. What have you done to contribute each week?
Yeah, just be a good teammate, you know, have fun on the bench. Our bench is a lot of fun this week. We got these ski goggles, so, you know, we're chilling.
Yeah, why are those only on the bench? I want
Great
those
question.
in the match.
Great question.
I want them on somebody for one rotation at least.
All
Ali
right,
Bastianelli is my
I'll try
pick.
to do that.
Yeah, Ali's my pick. Tell her she's got to put those on.
Allie, you got to put goggles on. That's they want the goggles.
Kevin
the
says,
fans.
yeah.
Yeah, she said okay.
Excellent. I can't wait.
Gabby, I've got to know, playing with Morgan Hintz, what is happening in practice in terms of, is there feedback about how to set up defensively, or is it just the fact that when people play next to her, it's like you want to meet her level? Because I feel like consistently each week, the players that are surrounding her tend to play the best defense we've seen out of them over the course of the season.
Yes, Morgan Hentz is incredible. As a captain, as a leader, as a defender, I think she tells us what to do and everyone listens. And obviously, like, you want to play your butt off for her because you know she's doing it for you.
Yeah, here is Yosiana Hentz with another dig. She's been equaling the captain in that one. What's your professional plan after tonight?
I am going to play in PBF, and I'm going to Columbus.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
Was it always the plan to play professionally, or has the emergence of Athletes Unlimited and other opportunities changed your perspective over your last couple of years of college?
For sure. I think the opportunity to play in the States is so exciting, and I'm just so thankful for all the leagues that are emerging.
Well, thanks for spending some time with us.
Yes, of course. Thank you.
All right, Gabby Blossom led USD, that's the University of San Diego, to their first ever national semifinal last year. And now in the professional scene here with Athletes Unlimited. Jenna Rosenthal recovered from an awkward catch of the surface. That ball chipped off the edge. Yosiana Presley's made almost every play tonight. That one just out of reach. 10-6, so that is a 4-point lead in this set, a 4-point lead overall. Team Hentz now timeout. Who will it be? Will Brooke Nunaviller and Bethania de la Cruz be able to push themselves to a final night victory, or is it going to be Team Hentz digging the ball and moving forward with their entire squad? Gabby Blossom, bench leader. Team Nunaville are coming out of a timeout that they caused. 55-51 is their lead. Let's take you into the action with the captain, Brooke Nunaville.
Hey, just be patient and close. Okay, let's go. Be you. Be aggressive right now. Go! Let's go. Come on. Right now. Yeah. Come on. Come on, Sid. Let's go. Okay. On her.
In the seat.
I think I'm going to step there.
Step in the
You
seam
stay
and I
the
go
sideline.
wide.
Yeah, here we go. Because she has that wrist away. And then you can work in. Go! Up! Yes, great job. Here we go. Hey, Sid, watch jump here with middle. Watch jump. Quick! Yes! Come on, great job. Let's go. Come on.
From into the action, we're back to the action. Maren Grote checks in to serve, working on Deja McClendon. Chaussee, another good spot. Where did that ball go? The answer is long. Out of bounds.
Huge contributions, though, from Deja McClendon and Blake Moeller, who have been limited over the course of this season. Blake Moeller in a late addition to the league after an injury, and both with big contributions here this evening.
A little reverse throw, if you will. And Missy Whittemore likes it.
I do. And interestingly, it's Nunaville saying my fault, which is interesting. Obviously, that's not her ball, but she has been so good about communicating and calling out when to look for the dump. And Maren Grote had entered the match, and I think she feels like that's her responsibility to communicate. She communicates like a libero, and that's because she has played the position. And you saw the extended communication as we went into the action with her between she and Amanda Benson, talking about where they were going to be defensively, and that's just so important because they literally have two liberos on the floor.
We're going to offer you extended volleyball action tonight, 9:30 Eastern, our de facto championship match, as Allie Linehan and Leah Edmond, two Kentucky Wildcats, are in first and second on the leaderboard. They are fighting it out for the top step and the only individual title on the planet in the world of volleyball. That is 9:30 Eastern on ESPNU. Stay with us here from Mesa, Arizona. Kevin Barnett, Missy Whittemore, and Key Michael will finish this one, and then we'll get ready for the final match of the year. McClendon, perfect pass. And that's what it looks like.
Nice snap over the top there by Claire Chaussee, but that only happens with the passing of Deja McClendon. Really, I think right now, any offense they get from her is just an added bonus. But what she is providing for them right now is a real consistency and just a leadership role in terms of that serve receive.
Rosenthal backslide. Trying to put it down the line. Now the question this is going to be, did it hit Moeller's foot? Did it hit the ground in front of Moeller's foot, or did it hit her on the foot out of bounds? The ball is called out.
I'm not sure that the line judge can really make a call on that because Blake Moeller is sort of blocking her. I felt like it hit Blake Moeller's foot first, to be honest with you. Will we get a challenge here? I'm curious.
Did you want to issue a commentator's challenge?
I think I would like to.
Okay.
Oh, I could be wrong. Maybe it's off the bounce that it hits Blake.
Should Blake's left foot be out of bounds like that?
Probably not.
Okay.
So as a defender, you want to get your foot planted near that line so that anything to your left is out of bounds, but you don't actually want to have your foot out of bounds.
Dave Rubio is unhappy.
Yeah.
Like there was a bad call in the duel in the desert or something. Facilitator for Team Nunaville. Outside, a little too far, and Bastianelli, along with Gwen Tegenruder, are in a perfect spot. They're back within two.
This is a fun battle to watch Ali Bastianelli and Jenna Rosenthal really go at it. Two experienced middles here from AU who very often go quite high off the leaderboard, those two. Or excuse me, off the draft board.
Molly McCage has been the #1 middle off each time. But yeah, the two women you just mentioned are right behind her. Tip, Yossiana again is there. Presley has done some exceptional defensive work in this match. Tight, over the top, McClendon. De La Cruz, dug by Moeller. McClendon with the dig and swept. That ball's out of bounds. Another kill for Hilly.
And I'm not rooting for either team, but I would have loved to see that one land in bounds because I am just appreciating the defense that we are seeing from Team Hens. She crafts the team just differently than anyone else. You know, she sees in players their defensive abilities that I think other captains often look to Yassiana Presley, they think big arm. They look to Deja McClendon, oh, can she play on the outside? And I think Hens sees a complete player. She sees what Yassiana Presley can bring to the floor in terms of that defense that we're seeing. And for Deja McClendon as well, the way she's solidified their serve receive.
Chaussee stop one, second tip picked up by Cagliari. Two times up, reset from Rosenthal. Back row and out of bounds. Boy, what a job by Brooke Nuneviller to get back up and be available. 14-10.
Nuneviller and Chaussee are going to need to put their arms on ice after this one. They are going to be so ready for a week off, but they are leaving everything on the floor, as you mentioned, to go from defense, get back up and take a strong approach at the ball out of the back row from Brooke Nuneviller.
From defense in full dead bug mode.
Yes. Oh, Deja McClendon.
Claire was mad at that one.
Oh, and they're looking for a touch. They don't get the call. Is Hens going to challenge?
Claire Chaussee had no approach. I just looked at her face on this swing. She's not happy with the loss of points on her side and took a cut.
Deja, great pass back to the floor to keep the ball alive. And as you said, gather and swing from Claire Chaussee. That was an immediate call for a touch. And I will say it's the players who see it and hear it more clearly than anyone.
I'll tell you what I like about the fact that pro volleyball is a thing in the United States for women now is you get a chance to continue to enjoy these women plying their trade. Very hard to do when they're overseas. Very few women play for many, many years overseas. Talking with Claire Chaussee, I said, would you go back to Italy? She said, no, not going to go back overseas. But in the United States, I'll keep playing. And it's a pleasure to watch the talent like number 11, Claire Chaussee, and later we're going to see Allie Linehan, and you watch the transition to real life, and then back again as to a professional player for Leah Edmond, and the results that's had for her. Just an excellent treat as a fan.
And it's not an uncommon answer. We've heard that from several of the players saying, if I were going back overseas, I would be done. But because of the opportunities that are available at home, I will keep playing. And I mean, the talent level that we have seen over these 5 weeks is just sky high. So to know that we're going to get to continue to be treated to this kind of volleyball, that is so good.
Taking her to the back row, that'll put Presley back to the front. This is a good scoring opportunity for Team Hens. They trail by 4, they need a few. That ball's tight. Covered by Nuneviller. Betty, that's going to be out off the antenna. Point Hens.
Volleyball's such a game of runs. I think if you're a Team Hens, can you sustain the run that Team Nuneviller has made here, at one point separating themselves by 5, and then now can you create some point scoring of your own?
Well, that's what defense is all about, right? Point scoring chances. Chances to take a swing, and now you have all of your arms up front.
That's exactly right. This is the rotation to do it. Sometimes in those off rotations, you're just trying to stay within striking distance.
Oh, and that's the one that had to be in, considering the front row, 16-12. Key Michael, what do you know?
Well, I was thinking about Team Hens yesterday, and I had a question to a couple of players, and one word kept coming up: chaotic is the word of the day for them and their team. And looking at the bench, who you just saw with all of their ski goggles, they are the skis this week, whatever that means, but they're passionate to say the least with their cheering. That could give some insight into that chaotic, but that bleeds onto the court, the players told me. Sometimes Ali Bastianelli said we come out so fired up and full of energy, we need to find ways to focus that. Deja said every game we have the most fun, but it's just complete chaos. We play the best when we try to streamline that energy. Taylor Brunn said the difference in the third set yesterday was actually Deja. She provides that calm, confident energy that helps to balance out the chaos. So the question for me is, do they streamline that here in the third set, or do they let that runaway train get the most of them?
Yeah, the question is, where is it going to come from? It's probably going to have to come from number 11, Claire Chaussee, as it has this entire year, if Team Hens is going to go and close this 5-point deficit.
Yeah, and it's a lot of players like Claire Chassé who are making that adjustment from the college game to the professional level. And as Key said, they're learning to manage themselves for the first time. For the most part, I think they all like it a whole lot. And yet there is a learning curve. How do you turn that energy into a focused energy? Well, Claire Chassé seems to have found the trick, averaging over 5 kills per set coming into tonight. She's taking that energy out on the ball quite well.
12 kills, 10 digs, and some leaderboard points piling up. Sitting in 8th right now, Claire Chassé.
We've got the captains in the captain chair, of course, who have somewhat of a coaching role. But as a pro, you're seeing these players learn to coach themselves to some extent. And that is kind of one of the hurdles and one of the stepping stones for these youngsters.
We touched on how the level of play has increased at the outside hitter position in particular, but it's been a raft of new rookies that have played huge roles. These are them in order in terms of their position on the leaderboard.
And 4 of those 5 playing at the outside hitter position. Entering tonight, you see Chassé, Vanderweide, Nuneviller, Linehan, all new to Athletes Unlimited this year, and they have been a huge part of their team's success, taken so many rips over the course of the season. What an upgrade at that outside hitter position. Then, of course, they're joined there by Sydney Hilly.
All right, we'll see what they have left here. Bastianelli trying to get a side out, desperately in need of it as Team Hens. They will not get it as Brooke Nuneviller cleans up the opportunity, and it is 6 points now to the plus side for Team Nuneviller.
Nuneviller just playing so well that even at this point in the match with Betty De La Cruz out at the left pin, we're seeing Sydney Hilly throw it up to Nuneviller in the back row.
Nuneviller 14 kills. Chassé right back, and that's going to have enough steam on it to get out of bounds. That's going to be 13 for Chassé. So you've just seen the 2 hottest attackers on the floor in successive plays.
That was a great rhythm set there from Taylor Bruns-Tegenrit, who the ball came right to her. She's in the pocket as a setter, and she was able to deliver a really nice killable ball to the outside. One of the first in-system looks we've gotten to see from Claire Chassé in a while.
Blossom serves, will play middle back, but Betty De La Cruz smokes that one right to the floor.
Immediate communication there between Bastianelli and Yassiana Presley, trying to figure out exactly what adjustment they need to make to their block. I think sometimes when you're playing against Betty, though, there's no adjustment. It's just a better attack.
Another dig in the left back by Benson. This one's set over. Ball's too tight. Deja trying to save it, cannot. And that'll now be 20. 2 timeouts already used by Team Hens.
Claire Chassé usually the recipient of those secondary sets. She's not usually the one to step in and make that set. It is a difficult ball to play up correctly. I mean, Morgan Hens does it so well.
That ball dug on the money. Almost too perfect. Outside, McClendon stopped. And that first contact will go to the floor. Team Hens on the verge of going 0-3 on the weekend.
And as we said, coming in for Morgan Hens to make any moves on the leaderboard, as a defender, there's just not as many stat points available to you, even if you're Morgan Hens leading the lead in digs. So she has had the fewest stat points of those leaders up on the leaderboard, and the win points has really been what set her apart.
Benson with the dig. Followed up by a second on the overpass, but it will end up being a point for Team Hens. 21-14. So much work to do, so little margin for error right now for the women in blue.
It's really amazing how we see these teams evolve over the course of one weekend. If you saw Team Nuneviller in set 1 on Friday night to where they are now, just a completely different look.
Excellent point. Yeah, they lost that first set in horrible fashion. And here they were down, remember, 21-14. In that first set, they were down 24-17. They came all the way back to 20.
Yeah.
And then did the work in the second to tie it at 45 apiece, headed into the third, and now they have really taken control. Kind of what they've done on the weekend encapsulated in a single match.
Yeah, it's so true. We see Stalzer that time out on the right pin, and what great footwork. Again, that set is a little inside, but she does an awesome job of getting her feet in position to actually be able to take a quality swing at that ball.
Lindsay Stalzer in her 22nd year of professional volleyball.
Wow.
That's an inaccurate number, but it's not far off. Lindsay Stalzer is a pro's pro, been at this absolutely forever, third-year vet here at Athletes Unlimited. Right side. Stalzer, Doug. McClendon trying to put it away. Did she get a piece of the block? Yes. A late signal.
Oh, and Team Nunaviller thinks they won that point. They've got Kayla Caffey headed back to the service line. They're going to have to back things up.
Yeah, they're going to take Jenna Rosenthal off the floor.
Yeah. Take another look at this swing here from Deja McClendon. Gets a piece of that block. Pinky-ish.
It had to have been a pinky. Lindsay Stalzer did not protest it. Good opportunity here. Tipped right in. What a set from Hentz.
And that has been the sweet spot in terms of where they have found the off-speed kills time and time again for Team Hentz. It's the deep tip challenging, rather than the left front player, Brooke Nunaviller, who's such a good defender, really challenging left back and middle back.
Kayla Caffey had enough of that 3-0 run.
We've seen some just glimpses of outstanding play from Kayla Caffey.
Just her second kill in this one, but an important one already with 2 blocks. That's where she's really excelled, is the blocking phase. Outside McClendon, this tip is not going to go down. Free ball, where do you go? The captain. Rosenthal, that ball's in. It was close. Nunaviller set and match point, number 1. 100-point ball coming up off the right arm of Kayla Caffey.
This is it. Coach Hasse not quite ready for this to end yet. She's going to do the old shoe tie here and slow things down.
I think she just said that's exactly what she did. Great call by you, Missy.
Slow play in this. She doesn't want AAU season to end.
Trying to ice Caffey. Chasse, a little off-center opportunity there, the B. Couple of steps and got it. Is there more life in Hentz? Yes, there is, Blake Moeller.
This is a great press on the part of Blake Moeller. Look at the block deflection that allows them to save that first swing. This is all defense, though. Look at this free ball opportunity. And then Blake Moeller dives to her left. I've been so impressed with Blake Moeller tonight. Not just plays like that, but some of her second efforts when she hasn't been able to make a close, she's like stepped in and played defense. Really enjoyed that.
Second 100-point ball for the women in purple. Brooke Nunaviller puts a cap on her rookie season.
A very fitting end to this match. For the first week, Brooke Nunaviller is in the captain's chair, and it is a successful outing. I think it benefited her to become a captain later in the season when she had gotten a feel for the way this league works, but she is a very natural leader, and they're going to walk away with a big win, and Brooke Nunaviller has herself in position to be on the medal stand.
70-63 is going to be the overall final in this one, determined by that 25-18 victory in the third and that kill by Brooke Nunaviller to finish it. Brooke Nunaviller, the captain, coming in. First opportunity for her. She finishes with 17 kills.
Mike, go!
That's the right way to end your season.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of win celebrations, but certainly some extended hugs after this one.
What a nice chance for Brooke Nuneviller to get a team put together, go 2-1 on the weekend. Key Michael has that outstanding outside hitter.
Brooke, a fantastic first season for you. We don't know the final scores yet or all the numbers, but as it stands right now, you could be getting a medal. Were you expecting that coming into this season?
Honestly, I've just been telling everyone I just want to play normal volleyball. I mean, these individual points are really interesting, and it's something that none of us have really ever experienced unless you've played here at AU. So I think I've just surrounded myself with awesome volleyball players, especially being able to pick this week, and I'm just excited we got the win.
Well, a great way to finish it. I know your volleyball career is not over. You're headed to Omaha with a couple of players here. I think Betty and Sydney are both going to be on your team there. What do you do between now and then?
Well, we have a mini camp for like 4 days, so we'll practice a little in December. But I mean, I've gotten to play with both of them quite a bit this season, so it's fun to get some reps. I think we got really comfortable with one another, and I'm excited to see what we can do in Omaha.
Rookie season as a captain, ending on a win. Can you tell me the feeling right now, right here, and the culmination of this 5-week season? What does it feel like right now?
Oh, it's the best. I mean, look, everyone's hugging. Like, we're so happy with one another. This was one of the best groups I've been a part of. And I think we definitely went into this just putting it all out on the court and seeing what we could do, and we got the win.
Nunevilla's Ninjas doing great things. Thank you so much. Missy, back to you.
Thank you, Key, and congratulations to Brooke Nuneviller. She really personifies so much of what we've seen at Athletes Unlimited here in Season 3 in terms of the success of the youth here and the dynamic play at the left pin. She is both of those things. A rookie who has been absolutely outstanding. Tonight alone, she takes 47 swings at the ball, and we all know what she does defensively. Kills 17 of them with only 3 errors. That is what has set the best side hitters apart, is the efficiency that we have seen playing and just executing at such a high level.
So much of the game runs through your pin hitters, and that will be the case in our second match of the evening. Our number 1 and number 2 contenders on the point chase for the championship title. Allie Linehan taking on Leah Edmond. It's going to have to take an exceptional match from Allie Linehan. That week 2 hurt her, but she was so good in 3 and 4.
You know, this graphic just speaks to the consistency of Leah Edmond, and that 538, that will be added to this evening. Understand, she is not done in week 5 yet. So it has been her consistency, never scoring under 700 points in a single week, that has been the difference maker.
Brooke Nuneviller, 17 kills, 16 digs, and an ace. Dela Cruz, 10 kills, 8 digs, and 2 aces. And a Nuneviller win, 70-63. Coming up, 9:30 Eastern. It is going to be Athletes Unlimited Volleyball Championship time. We're going to crown our champion in Season 3. Team Linehan taking on Team Edmond on ESPNU. For Key Michael and Missy Whittemore, I'm Kevin Barnett. Final score 70-63 in this one. We're on to the championship decider next. Come on back on this Monday night.